so good. When you play, just play for me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, said I would be your girl.
In the constantly evolving world of technology, 9-year-old Annie Bellino is a trendsetter.
Can I text Daddy?
This third grader already has a cell phone, Nook tablet, iPod Touch, computer, DVD player, and cable TV, all in her room, which, not surprisingly, is also filled with dolls and lots of posters.
Who likes Justin Bieber in here?
Me!
But is this too much technology, too much access for one little girl?
Welcome to Parenting in 2012, when the challenge of raising a tech-savvy child who doesn't grow up too fast has never been more difficult. You've had a hard time saying no.
For Annie's mother, Amanda, just saying no to the latest and greatest gadget clearly hasn't been easy.
There's some challenges. Go to bed at 9 o'clock. You have to turn in your devices at 8. But I don't want to. I want to stay on the computer. I want to be on my phone. I want to text message my friends.
Amanda and her husband do have some parental controls in place, but they believe they're teaching Annie how to be responsible by giving her all of these devices. More importantly, Amanda adds, she trusts her daughter.
She'll come to me. If she finds something that she thinks is inappropriate, she'll, Mommy, what is this? You know, she's pretty good about letting me know what she thinks is appropriate and what isn't appropriate. I don't think she's a sneaky kid that will try to look at dirty sites.
So you want to go to Facebook?
8-year-old Michael Ford also keeps it clean on the web. To be honest, he really doesn't have a choice.
I actually sit right with him when he's on it, and I also have his password, his email address, so he doesn't know it. I know it. So in order for him to log on, he has to ask me. We got to do things my way.
That's like Facebook Junior.
Yeah, basically.
Sharice Jaycox runs a tight ship. Her son Facebooks only with relatives. There's no cell phone, and the Nintendo Wii is in the living room. But Sharice, like so many other parents, still fears she's giving her son too much freedom and opening the door to a brave new world too soon.
When is he going to get to that point where he's going to want to explore other than Facebook and see things on there that maybe he's not supposed to?
Dr. Lawrence Balter says ultimately the decision on whether to just say no will rest on just how well you know your child.
The big question seems to be, should trust be given or should trust be earned?
A lot of the decision making about what your kid should have depends on your kid. Some kids are more trustworthy than other kids. Sometimes parents are naive and they think, not my kid.
What we learned from both Annie and Michael is that even at this age, there's a good chance they know more about technology than you do.
You could probably teach me a thing or two.
I pretty much think I can.
Everyone. And I'm guessing everyone has a computer at home?
Yeah.
And their own access to a computer?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, what I'm going to talk to you. It's not too early, right?
No, it's not.
Believe me, the next 4 years in high school are going to sneak up on you, and you would be doing yourself a favor to start thinking about it now. I want to talk to you about what life was like. When I got to college, my Uncle Alan will tell you, it was a rough.
In his career, White followed the path of so many other young black corporate professionals who aspired to be CEOs, which is to say, back in the mid to late 1980s, there was no clear path and no established CEO career track for someone who looked like him. In fact, to date, only a dozen black executives have ever become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. The first time I saw an African-American CEO on the covers of major business magazines, including Black Enterprise, and that for me was absolutely inspiring and motivating as an executive. He grew up here in Jamaica, Queens, with 9 siblings, all raised by a single mother. The family didn't have much money. It was tough, but I learned some things. I learned tenacity. I learned commitment. I learned drive. I learned sacrifice. All those things today make me who I am. She told us at a very, very early age, two things you're going to do in my house. You're going to respect me, and you're going to go to school. Good for me. Sounds like you didn't have much of a compassion for others and energy. Yeah, I think energy is important. I think other people can feed off that energy. Kendall says he plans to leave the door open for the next generation of young corporate power brokers who will follow him. Jay Dow, 611 News. All right, Jay.
How are you? What's your name?
Anthony Williams.
Anthony.
Yeah. What made you want to get into the news business?
Well, I've always loved, and like I said, I thought I was going to law school. I was a political science major, and even though I was studying and preparing to go to law school, I still enjoyed writing, dating back to elementary school. But when I got that news assistant job that summer after college, paying $8 an hour, not much money at all, and I was still paying at home after school. I saw how, let's say, interesting that field could be when you were able to meet people every day and write every day. That's responsible for writing my own stories. All of the pieces that you see today, I wrote myself. So I did the interviews and then I wrote the pieces. So, it's the love of writing and meeting people and being able to tell someone else's story that drove me into journalism.
All right,
Does that help?
Yep.
Brandon?
Yes.
What's up, Brandon?
What's an Emmy Award and how did you get your 2?
The first Emmy was last that happened here in New York City back in 2003. And it was a pretty big blackout. It affected most of New York City. James?
Yeah. What
My
college?
name is Stu.
What college did you attend?
Right out of high school, I went to Hampton University. That's in Virginia. Everyone know where Hampton is?
Yeah.
Yes, they're well aware of that, Jay. That's my home by the sea.
This is more with the Hampton.
All right. Yes, I went to Hampton right out of college. My senior year in high school, I thought I was done with wrestling. I was tired of losing weight. It was my 11th year wrestling, and I thought I was done. And I decided I was going to go to Hampton. Hampton did not have a wrestling team. I thought I was okay with that. And then about halfway through my freshman year in Hampton, I started, this is around the start of the wrestling season, wrestling being a winter sport, and I started to miss wrestling, of course. I called the head coach at the College of New Jersey. It used to be called Trenton State College. It's now called the College of New Jersey. I knew that coach when I was in high school. Our high school wrestling team worked with his college wrestling team a couple of times, so he knew who I was. And I called him and I let him know that I wanted to come wrestle for him. And so he arranged the transfer so that I could come wrestle and transfer to the College of New Jersey. And so that's how I got to College of New Jersey. And that first semester at the College of New Jersey is when I did really poorly during that semester. So I spent the next 4 years at the College of New Jersey because all of my credits did not transfer from Hampton. And then I graduated from the College of New Jersey in 1997. Hey,
My name's Josh.
Josh, how you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good.
All right.
What inspired you to wrestle?
My father and my uncle were both wrestlers in high school, and they threw me on the wrestling mat in second grade. I was 7 years old, so I don't think I had much of a choice. That was what I was going to do. It just happened that I really liked it.
Alright.
So that's when we got into wrestling. Really young.
Alright. How long have you been doing your news career?
My first job was that news assistant's job in 1997, and I got my first reporter's job in the June of 1998. So what is that? 13 years now?
Yeah.
14 years?
14.
Yeah, 14 years.
Long time.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Tarian.
What you doing?
Good. Do you have
What's up?
Do you have a wife?
And 2 daughters. And my daughters are 9 and 5.
Okay. Hi, Caleb.
Caleb?
Yeah.
All right, how you doing, Caleb?
Good. What was the story about of Anthony Weiner that you did?
Maybe I shouldn't have put that.
Go live. That's for the morning show. For the night shift and for the day shift that I'm doing now, I'll go into the newsroom and they will send me out and I will actually report the story. I'll go do the interviews while I'm out there in the field. I will write the story while I'm out there in the field. I'm with a photographer who's with me recording the story, getting the pictures. We use editing program in news these days. So the photographers will edit the piece on Final Cut Pro. There are truck technicians who operate the satellite trucks. That's a technical job that you have to be up on the latest satellite equipment, the satellite frequencies. These are 2 jobs that are out in the field.